Let's talk about gardening. I am admittedly a terrible gardener, and only the most hardy or drought resistant plants really survive at my home. But I was thinking about something the other day because I bought some seeds. And anytime I buy a plant, or especially seeds, there's a lot of hope that goes into that, right? You hope that it's going to be the right thing for your garden. You hope that animals don't dig up those seeds or that plant, and you hope that it blooms. But here's the problem. Buying the seeds doesn't actually do anything. It just means that you have a packet of seeds. In this case, sunflower seeds, which is one of my favorite flowers. But buying those sunflower seeds doesn't mean I have sunflowers in my garden. As you can see, I haven't even opened the packet yet. After you buy the seed, you have to plant it. You actually have to do the work, which is where I get stuck. You have to go outside when it's hot, you have to dig in the soil, you have to water it, and then, importantly, you have to continue nurturing it. You have to remember to water it week after week. You can't abandon it for 6 months and then go, what happened to those hydrangeas? But the thing is, if you do plant the seed and nurture it and tend to it, eventually you'll see the fruit of that labor, right? Sometimes it's literal fruit or vegetables. Other times it's flowers or grass or something that beautifies your yard. But too many entrepreneurs just fundamentally don't get this. And maybe we just need to have an entrepreneur garden day where we all talk about how seeds work. But so many people will buy something, right? They'll buy a program and then they'll be mad that they don't get the results of that program simply by hitting the purchase button. Just because I bought these seeds doesn't mean I have these flowers. And just because you bought that program doesn't mean you have that skill or you have that knowledge or you have that thing that you wanted. You actually have to do the work. You have to nurture. You have to, in a lot of cases, do it long term. I can't put this seed in the ground and 5 seconds later it's 5 feet tall. These aren't Jack and the Giant Beanstalk seeds. But that's what we've been told, right? We've been sold this fairy tale. We have the montage in the movies that you just make a decision and then 30 seconds later you're fighting a world-class fighter, or you're singing in the competition, or your house is complete. And just because stories are told fast-forwarded, because the details can be boring, doesn't mean you get to fast-forward through all the work that you need to do. And it really would behoove us to look back at the things that are really worthwhile take time. I heard it said that the day you get pregnant is not the day you hold the baby. Important things take time to gestate. But just like nurturing and having a child come to life, you actually need to take care of that, to nurture it and to provide what it needs in order to succeed. Otherwise, you're just as stupid as I am. If I buy a packet of seeds and it sits in my kitchen and then I'm mad that I don't have sunflowers in my garden. Or I throw it outside, I don't give it any water, I don't give it soil, and I forget about it, and then I try to return the seeds because they didn't work. How many programs have you purchased? How many products are sitting unopened on a shelf somewhere? And not because they're a bad program, product, or thing, but because you haven't done the piece that you need to do to let it come to life. The thing is that we're not living in the Matrix. You can't push a buy button and have information downloaded to your brain. Trust me, if just buying a book on Amazon meant I knew everything that was in that book, I would spend a lot more money than I do buying books on Amazon. The thing is, you actually have to do the work and take that in. And the problem I see is that if you don't acknowledge that to your clients, if you don't tell them very clearly that they're going to need to do the work in order to get the testimonials and the results that you've promised, you're doing them a disservice. There are plenty of people out there who are selling the magic pill. They're saying, as soon as you join our program, here's what you can expect. Or as soon as you are a member, here's what will happen. And sometimes that's just not true. Just because you sign up for a gym doesn't mean you're going to be at your goal weight or as strong as you want to be. Just because you go to the grocery store doesn't mean there's a 4-course dinner on your table that night. Things in life, many things in life, take time, they take effort, and it's time for us to acknowledge that they're going to take that effort so that people know what they're getting into and they're not disappointed, but they're also not delusional about what they're buying and what they're actually getting. Otherwise, you're just selling people seeds that are never going to be planted, and then they're going to be upset that they don't get to see the fruit of that labor.